So after seeing One Life, I went and saw Snack Shack, the new comedy that, like, again, along with One Life, I'd only got one trailer in front of. And it's one of those trailers that I got in before actual commercials and before actual previews. It's usually they usually do that, but Fear likes to do that a lot for movies that obviously are not going to make any money. So they some reason promote these movies, and like unless you are seeing go to the movie about like early or right on time when it's supposed to play, the movie's supposed to start, you won't ever see these fucking trailers. And usually, like I said, they're always from like small independent companies, and this one's for public. I don't know. Apparently, a Paramount company. Uh, I even got a new trailer. I got a trailer for something else in front of Arthur the King, and it was like from the Blue Fox Studios, a company that I saw quite a bit of their fucking movies during actors writer strike. Um, so yeah, Snack Shack is one of those movies that's like, all right, this is your stereotypical teenage comedy. I can tell from the trailer. It's like, all right, it's one of those, something in the style of something you'd see in the '80s. But this movie's set in the '90s. Not, it's place. It's kind of funny that like back in the day, it was like a lot. You wanted to make a movie about somebody's childhood. It was the '80s. Now it's the '90s because that's a nostalgia thing to do. And man, do I fucking feel old. I grew up in the fucking '90s. Even though when this movie takes place in '91, I was only 3 years old. So, like, I grew up, for the late mid '90s, but like not during this time period. But obviously, so this movie is not a bad movie at all. I like this movie a lot, for most part. It's not one of my favorite kinds of these movies. Like like I said, it's obviously trying to be a tribute to a lot of those '80s comedies, teenage comedies, '90s teenage comedies that you've seen. Um, this is one of those movies that when it first started going and you get first introduced to the main characters of this movie, I was like, oh boy, this is going to be a long sit because I was not a big fan, especially particularly the comic relief esque kind of sidekick character, uh, friend character. What the fuck was that? Friend character that you get when you get first introduced to him. He's the fuck. I keep hearing weird noises. Sorry. And he kind of comes off almost unlikable. And I'm like, even like the main character's a little bit unlikable. I'm like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie one bit. If I'm fucking have to sit for these like two douchebags. Like I know they're supposed to be teenage kids, but man, like kind of unlikable. But as the movie got along, they got a lot better, and they actually became more and more likable, and they became more relatable. And as because like at the beginning of the movie, you just see these two dimwits and their various attempts to try to uh make money. They try to gamble at a a racing track. Sorry, and then uh, they start trying to make their own beer, which apparently they actually do a good job at. People actually are complimenting it, which again is pretty illegal. And they're wanting to do that, especially since both of them were like 14, 15 years old. Um, Yeah, they're doing a lot of stupid fucking shit that obviously is gonna get them in a lot of trouble. And then they eventually came up with this idea of opening up or help running the Snack Shack, which is this the the snack bar at a like a local pool. And then there's a girl that is the lifeguard there that they both kind of become have a crush on, and both of them like her, and it's causing a little bit of conflict between the two, and then it's like it's a stereotypical. You know, like everywhere, beat by beat, you know where it's going. Never just really any big surprises, and particularly with when it comes to one certain character, side character Like I knew instantly the fate of that character pretty fucking quickly, like what was gonna happen to him. And then when it happened later in the movie, I went, "Well, that was not much of a surprise." Like, well, it's like it's it, and I won't spoil it, but yeah, uh, like I said, it's not really bad. Like I like the parents still. I thought the parents were very funny. I seen those actors that play the parents in like a million different things. They're always like the side characters and minor characters in movies and TV shows that you've seen a million times before. Um, and they're really funny and enjoyable. Like a lot of people, I've seen some people say like a lot of the minor characters were the best characters compared to the two main characters. I kind of agree with that. I'll give you that. But like even for my complaints about them being unlikable at the beginning of the movie, but as throughout the movie they got a lot better. When there's a big emotional thing that happens, like almost towards the end of the movie, their acting is really fucking good. Like they become really good. Fucking, they show their acting chops. These kids actually get a chance to show their acting chops, and they're really good and got to develop as three dimensional characters uh, as the movie went along. And I said, like I said, like it's not one of my favorite of these kinds of movies, but it was pretty fucking good. It really was. It was a surprise. I give it I definitely think this movie was pretty decent. I give it a B, solid B. Nothing more, nothing less. I can't really ever give it an A or I couldn't give it a C. It's because it's actually a lot better than a C. Like I said, I'd put it in the B category. Um, I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, I like nobody like I thought I would be the only one in the theater because like it barely made any money. But yeah, so I wasn't. So that's cool. I like the movie a lot. Highly recommend it. So I've seen three good movies in a row after sitting for actually four good movies in a row. So that's pretty fucking cool. Um, so yeah, tomorrow I have one more movie to catch up from this past weekend, and that is Knox Goes Away. Uh, Saving the best for last because this is a movie that nobody saw. I don't even think even fucking reached 100, like in the top 100 at the box office. So like, I don't think anybody saw this fucking thing. But it's going away after Thursday, so I gotta get this movie in now or tomorrow, or I'm never gonna fucking see it. So until then, I'll talk to you guys later.